All right, we're really excited to introduce a new segment on the program today involving grassroots sports and how WST listeners can get involved in events as well as coaching opportunities and the support of the sports that happen at a grassroots level. It takes a community to play. And there's all sorts of ways that you can get involved. And we're going to learn a little bit more on the coaching side of things today with Susan Lamboo, who is the Director of Coaching for Sport Manitoba. And of course, when we do these events in conjunction with Sport Manitoba, we're greatly appreciative of the support from Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries, making it all happen. And let's welcome in Susan Lamboo from Sport Manitoba, the coaching side of things. Susan, it's great to have you on Winnipeg Sports Talk. How are you?
I am very good. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure. And, I was saying to you off air, I mean, in a nature, like a show like this, obviously we're kind of going up and down with the minutia of many of the pro teams. But, I mean, listen, whether you're a casual listener or someone that's with us every day, I mean, sport is such a big part of people's lives. And, it's one thing to watch the pros do it, but, I mean, sport is, as far as our community goes, is so important to so many. And these games really don't happen without people like coaches and officials before we even drop the puck or tip off, if you will.
Exactly. Like without coaches and officials donating and volunteering their time, things would not happen for our athletes.
I think that goes without saying. Let me ask you. I mean, I would imagine that in your role with Sport Manitoba, you had been coaching before you were sort of in charge of all the coaches. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you ended up here with such an important role connecting with coaches from across the sport landscape.
Sure. So my passion is Special Olympics, and I've been coaching with Special Olympics for over 30 years. But I've also coached high school sport with my children. I have two children, so I followed them throughout their progress. Coached mini soccer, coached rally caps in baseball, and a variety of different things throughout my life as well. So it's been a great journey.
Well, and it's interesting because often, and take something like Special Olympics, for example, I mean, people get involved just to help out and be part of an amazing program. And it can take you far, including places like Germany. I mean, just quickly tell us about being part of that, the Special Olympics World Games, and I imagine that must be a career highlight of yours.
It absolutely was. I was able to be chef d'admissions for Team Canada this past year and got to go to Berlin, Germany for the World Games, Summer Games. And it was absolutely an experience of a lifetime to be able to see the athletes who've trained so hard and the coaches that have trained them so hard be able to just see the absolute joy and kind of all their hard work come to fruition. It was amazing.
Whether we're talking about Special O, whether we're talking about the highest performance hockey, whether we're talking about, initiation programs in racket sports, there are so many coaches. Give us a little bit of a scope of the amount of people that are registered coaches under the umbrella of Sport Manitoba, helping put the games on here in the province.
Wow. Really, we probably don't capture everyone, but we have like 16,000 coaches that dedicate their time, and most of them are volunteers. So the countless hours that they put in on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis to be able to train our athletes, to give the athletes the benefits of sport, because we all know how kind of beneficial sport is. And the volunteers that put their time into training the athletes is incredible.
And it really is mutually beneficial and rewarding for the coaches as well. But there is time, and sometimes it just takes people to either get a push, an opportunity to go in. I'm hoping that there'll be some people that are watching or listening to this that have thought about this, that might find more information about getting involved in a sport they like and helping on that grassroots level. I mean, simply regardless of sport, how does one kind of take that first step to get involved in being a coach?
So there's a few ways that you can do this. You can either contact us at Sport Manitoba Coaching and let us know what sport you might be interested in, and then we connect you directly with the people that can get you involved. Or you can even contact your local sport association if you're in the rural areas and you have like a local community club or rec rec program, you can contact them and say, hey, I want to start coaching. What do I have to do? And then we can lay out the different steps that you can. And truly, anyone can coach. There's tons of supports there for you. And if you've ever had a thought that you might want to coach, please kind of join in, and we're there to support you.
I mean, the games really don't happen if there's not people to help the young athlete get started and get out on it. And I mean, the coaches and officials. I mean, that's who makes it all happen. Tell us about the respect and sport programs, because I know that is something that, if you haven't been involved, you've heard about this. I mean, in different sports itself, introducing programs. From a coaching standpoint, what do coaches learn about, and what should people know about respect and sport programs that are involved in our games?
So Respect in Sport for Manitoba has been a mandatory program for all coaches to take within Manitoba since 2007. And really it provides tools for coaches to recognize if there's harassment or bullying when in amongst their teams or anything like that, or just a reminder of kind of the importance you play in an athlete's life, and kind of the different things that you can do to make sure that it's a safe and enjoyable program for all your athletes.
And obviously, all that information's up at the Sport Manitoba website as well. Now, I think we're talking about opening the doors to new coaches to get involved in particular sports and start that journey. Tell us about the national coaching certification programs, because a lot of incredible, people that coach for decades start like this and go through these programs and, obviously, end up coaching at a very, very high level.
Yeah, you definitely don't have to be an expert by any means in what you're coaching to begin with. There is training through the National Coaching Certification Program with Coaching Association of Canada that provides you with the tools and, again, the technique and the technical expertise that you need to be able to understand what you need to teach to your coaches. That is all there for you. And with Sport Manitoba, we have some grants to help make sure that it is accessible, cost-wise, and a lot of things are now offered online. So it is very accessible to all coaches.
As sport grows, and I mean, over the last number of decades, participation of women in sport continues to grow. Tell us about the female mentorship program, and how much of a priority is it from a Sport Manitoba side to get more women involved, not just in playing games, but as being coaches?
It is crucial, right? We all know that coaches are needed, and that's on the female side as well. It just brings another dynamic, and it's really one of those things where young females coming up through the sports system, being able to see someone like themselves is super important. So we have this female mentorship program. It isn't sport specific, but it really provides you, an up and coming coach. We provide you with an established coach that has been around for a long time, have a lot of expertise to help guide you through the system, kind of be that support network for you. And then we create that community of practice where we're there to support one another.
It is, it is great to see and great to hear of. And I guess there's some other really unique programs. I mean, the Aboriginal Apprenticeship Program, and I know women in coaching for the Canada Games is something that probably ties in very closely with the female mentorship program.
Very much. And actually, right now, the Women in Coaching in the Aboriginal Apprentice Program for Canada Games, there is an open call right now out there. And what that is if you're interested in ever coaching at Canada Games, if you haven't been before, you can possibly go to Canada Games this year without all of the training that's needed to coach at a Canada Games. I would just contact the provincial sport organization that you're interested in coaching with and touch base with them and say you'd like to put your name in. And then it's just a bit of a process, and then you get fully embedded within that team to be able to go to the Canada Games.
And Canada Games, just on a side, I mean, what a phenomenal event that is. And that I think for many athletes that never really graduate to the highest level or continue, once they're out of their teenage years, will look back at Canada Games as maybe the most significant and fun event of their, younger sporting lives.
It is one of the largest multi-sport games that you'll have in Canada. And it is, again, the opening ceremonies is just one of those things that is a highlight a lot of people's lives. And again, they're training so hard, and this is sometimes the peak of where someone gets to, and it shows that you're the best in Canada, which is incredible. And it's just such an opportunity for the athletes, but also for coaches as well.
Susan Lamboo is the coaching manager for Sport Manitoba and is with us on our It Takes a Community to Play segment, brought to you by Manitoba Liquor Lotteries. There are other programs, I guess, and resources that you might want to mention if you can, for particularly for women, but women to watch grants, but also things like coaching bursaries, as well as coach and official assistance grants. Tell us about the reasons why those are put into place and what they do to help continually develop great coaches and to get more people involved.
Well, we want to make sure that financial reasons isn't the reason why you're not getting training and education and things that you want to do as a coach. So we provide grants to help offset any of the costs that it might take to get your professional development opportunities and your coach education. If it's traveling to somewhere or taking a course, we have grants to make sure that it is financially viable for you to be able to do that. And we have anywhere within Manitoba you can apply for these grants.
Susan, this has been so much fun. I guess to finish up, and again, we'll be on this regularly with different coaches from different sports, as well as working, with some of the big events that, are needing people, not necessarily for coaching, but for volunteers and whatnot. But just on the way out, I guess the Sport Manitoba website's the best place to go for people to find out not only more on the coaching programs that we've talked about, but some of the sports they can get involved in and what opportunities might be there, within those actual activities.
Yes, exactly. Sport Manitoba website has a little bit of everything. There's all the different programs that we offer, whether it's performance, coaching, we're going to have officials development. All the different grants and resources are all available on our website. So please just check it out. Start navigating. If you need any help, there is some help as well to help you navigate the website.
Susan, thanks so much for coming on. All the best to you and all the Manitoba coaches. Help them put the games on and make things happen all season long. We appreciate you, and we'll look forward to having you on again sometime soon.
Thank you so much, Andrew. We'll talk to you soon.
You got it. A real pleasure. There's Susan Lamboo, the coaching manager from Sport Manitoba. And again, gang, you can turn your passion into action, become a coach or official in the sport you love. It's not just about the sport. It's about building character, fostering teamwork, and creating a legacy. You can visit sportmanitoba.ca to take the first step toward a rewarding journey. It takes a community to play. A message from Sport Manitoba, supported by Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries.